Hello, check 1 2. Make sure we got sound here. I'm Michael Jospe. I'm the founder of Earth-Based Institute, and I would imagine that if there is no sound coming through, I'm going to get a message here from Daniel, one of our instructors. He's behind the scenes to answer questions and respond to any chat that might come in and just kind of help with the technical side of all this. Thanks for watching. If you are here live and watching this live, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. These videos, the intention behind me doing these videos, they're kind of organic and in the moment videos that the goal with this really is for me to help you understand what nature connected coaching is, and if this is a career path that you are excited about. This is a career path that you want to step into and commit to, because the world needs more nature connected coaches. That's what I say. And we are in the process right now of accepting applications for our June cohort, which is just a wonderful experience. We start off actually in the wilderness in Colorado with a 9-day wilderness retreat, and actually an 8-day wilderness retreat. Sorry, I'm there for 9. And so I want you to know more about what we're doing here so you can make a decision if you can join us in June. And in this particular video, I want to respond to some questions that I've been getting around what is coaching, and can you actually really make a living as a coach? I remember one person sending me an email not too long ago saying, I've seen wonderful people out there who are coaches that they're not surviving. How do you do that? Will I survive as a coach? Can I be successful as a coach? And what is this field of coaching? So I want to talk about that in this video. And for me, I'm going to share a little bit of my story, and I hope that's okay, because my hope here is that you can relate to aspects of this story, because this process of becoming a coach, for me, really a journey of identity. I really, when I started all this work working with people in the wilderness and so forth, my focus was on guiding. I had my own personal experiences of transformation in the wilderness that I wanted to offer other people. That was something that was really exciting for me, and I had a lot of passion behind that. And I had, I'd been studying this in college. I've been studying how to take people out into the wilderness and guide people into the wilderness, and I wasn't too interested so much in like the hardcore leadership experiences, although those were amazing, but I was more excited about the transformation that happened when you're out in the wilderness, and really wanting to guide that transformation in the wilderness. And I think that's something that a lot of people are drawn to when they think about nature connected coaching. Is, some people do come into this because they want to be a coach, but I think a lot of people come into this because they have this desire to guide people into nature for transformation. In fact, I just got an email this morning from somebody, and this is what she says right here. She says, I've done extensive research in self-exploration. I've got a degree in psychology, and study positive psychology and coaching and herbalism. And I've often thought it would be so cool to guide others through nature and wilderness and help them reconnect to themselves. It just makes me excited just thinking about it. And that's exactly, it was true for me. I'm guessing that probably is true for you in some way as well. And, so when I was doing this work right around the time that I started to really pour myself into this, I decided to go back to graduate school and really study personal transformation and transformational learning and adventure education and so forth, and really try to understand how to put something together for clients that could really help them make changes in their life through nature, through wilderness experiences, and so forth. And I ended up developing this learning model called the transformational learning model, and I guided many clients through this. And it takes like almost a year for people to go through. It involves nature and wilderness. I had many clients that I was working through with this. Really powerful, a lot of fun, and it was all evidence-based. I really studied all of this. And right around the same time, I started to I got hired by a local university here in Boulder that was just starting a master's degree in wilderness therapy. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. This is the realm that I feel like I'm in, the therapeutic applications of wilderness and nature. And so I got hired to go to be part of the instructional staff of that kind of original iteration of that program. And in fact, there are a few of those original instructors, Derek Schmidt and Katie Asmus, that are now, that have been instructors for EBI since the very beginning. They actually helped me create this curriculum. So I started working there and really diving into this field of wilderness therapy, but that didn't really kind of land for me. I started to realize that what that program in particular was offering was a clinical psychology training, which is wonderful, but it's a very different approach from coaching and a very different approach from the way that I was approaching working with people, which had more to do with self-empowerment and self-discovery, and not so much about diagnosis and treatment, which is more of the clinical side of things. I couldn't really relate to approaching nature from a place and a perspective of disease. For me, nature has more to do with life and vibrancy and discovery and empowerment and so forth. So that's why I would bring people into the wilderness, and regardless of their diagnosis or beliefs about themselves or something, it wouldn't be to go and treat. And like I said in the last video, there's a big difference for me in just being outside and doing therapy, or being outside and doing coaching, and really bringing nature in to that coaching experience, and having that actually be a co-guide, being a something that you're collaborating with to really support your clients. And that's something that I really studied in school. And so I realized that, okay, I don't fit into the therapy world, and there was a part of me that really wished I did, because that was like this laid out path, right? Like, okay, you go to school for 3 years, you go and you do your internship, and supervision, and you get your licensure, and bam. But there was all these kind of restrictions and laws and so forth around that I was struggling with. And so I began to really look into this world of coaching, and I didn't know much about it at all when I started. And I feel like it was almost motivated by someone along the way asking me, like, how would you identify yourself? Do you identify yourself as a therapist? How do you identify yourself? And really, the way that I had always thought about the work that I did was as a guide. And I realized that I needed something a little bit more foundational under that. I needed some theory under that. I needed some more, ethics and guidelines under what that really meant, so I could really build something for myself, so I could really build a career as a guide, doing the work that I was really called to do, the vision that I had for the world. And So I found this world of coaching. I ended up going back to school and getting a professional certificate in evidence-based coaching through a university. And that was my first introduction into this world of coaching. And it was in a very specific area of coaching that is called professional coaching. And the reason why I bring this up is because, one, that is what Earth-Based Institute is now, it has been accredited as a professional coach program, training program through the International Coach Federation. So we are a level 2 accredited program, and the International Coach Federation is the largest organized membership organization of professional coaches in the world. It's global, international. And they provide credentialing for professional coaches. They provide accreditation for programs like ours. They've got an ethics board. They've got the whole 9 yards when it comes to a professional membership. Very similar to like what the APA would have for therapists or psychotherapists, psychologists, where there are client rights that, as a client, and you are able to file grievances or complaints or so forth for to an overseeing board around the coaching that you're receiving. If for in any reason you're receiving coaching that does not meet a high level of standard that the ICF holds, which I love, because for me, I want to be a leader in the field that I work in. I want to feel good about the field that I work in. And now I want all of the students that come through Earth-Based Institute to be leaders in the field of nature-connected coaching, and inherently leaders in the field of professional coaching, defining what that really means and really showing a high level of skill, of integrity and professionalism in the work that they do. So, we put a lot of thought into how we develop this, our curriculum around a level 2 certification. And, it's just been amazing. But that discovering this world of professional coaching was so helpful for me. And it's been so helpful for our students as well to really separate and stand out in the crowd of coaches. I mean, it's like almost everybody calls themselves coaches now. And, even therapists are calling themselves coaches. And because if they can call themselves a coach and say that I'm doing coaching and I'm not doing therapy, then they fit around an ethical boundary, but they're not necessarily trained in professional coaching or training coaching. So there's this weird place in this world of coaching that is unregulated and undefined. And that's why I love what the ICF has done around professional coaching. Just gives a place to put all of this passion, to hold the visions that you have for the work that you want to do with people, being able to get a credential, an international credential that allows you to work all over the world with all sorts of different people, from business coaching to executives to health and wellness to life coaching, to all these different ways that you could be helping people as a coach. You're able to do that with feeling a lot of confidence and credibility in the work that you do with a credential like this. So now credentials aren't everything, right? I mean, like, you can be credentialed and not very good at all, and not really be helping people. But those aren't the people that come through EBI. Those aren't the people that we bring into EBI either. We're really focused on people who want to be leaders and who are really motivated by a place deep inside to be really good at what they do, that this is a lifelong commitment as a guide, as a coach for other people, and to really embody what that means on a professional level. So, there is a big difference between professional coaching and the other helping modalities out there. And oftentimes people call themselves a coach, but they're really doing something different. They're not really coaching. Professional coaching, has a set of core competencies that are important to understand and master in your work. That's why level 2, level 1, level 2, level 3, we're a level 2 education program, which is huge actually, because a level 3 is you have to complete a level 2 before you can even move into a level 3. The amount of professional experience hours and so forth is tremendous. You got to have a minimum of 2,500 hours of professional experience before you can even start to think about moving towards level 3. So level 1 and level 2 is where most of these programs like ours that are ICF accredited are going to be level 1, level 2. Excuse me. And level 2 really allows you to get a very high level of credentialing without having to go back for more education. Oftentimes a level 1 program only has a certain amount of hours of education, and to go to the next level in your credentialing, you got to get more education. EBI's got it all covered for you. I wanted to just share a little bit about the difference between some of these different definitions. But first, let me just share this definition of nature-connected coaching, or how we define nature-connected, what a nature-connected coach is, and then we can kind of put it into context around some of these other ideas here. So, a nature-connected coach is a professional coach who strives to guide their client to greater self-awareness, empowerment, and connection to purpose. And a nature-connected coach also has a strong personal connection, respect, and trust in the natural world, natural cycles, and natural processes. A nature-connected coach considers nature to be an active collaborator or co-guide in the work with a client. And so, we use this word guiding and coaching sometimes interchangeably in a way. But for me, really, this world of professional coaching can include guiding. And what I mean by that is that guiding is a way to move in to a space that your client, a transformational space that your client is going through, that then you can start to really apply some powerful coaching skills to help them integrate that, to help them discover more and transform for the long term through that, right? I mean, we often think of these aha powerful moments that we have in our lives. They could be some sort of transformational experience that you have, some powerful healing experience that you have. It could be an experience in the wilderness or medicine or something like that. And, and it feels like in that moment that everything has changed. And to me, that's the power of guiding. Guiding brings you into that place of that powerful aha moment. And coaching then is around, what do you do with that? How do you integrate that? How do you bring that into your life? So we want to be able to offer both of this in the work that we're doing as nature-connected coaches. Okay, so the definition here of professional coaching, this comes right from the ICF, is partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. Coaches honor the client as the expert in his or her life and work and believe every client is creative, resourceful, and whole. And professional coaching focuses on setting goals, creating outcomes, and managing personal change. I mean, when I read this, I feel like I have so much space to bring in the transformational work that I want to do with people. But let's just talk about this a little bit, like the difference. Like a lot of people will say that they're doing coaching, but are they really doing therapy, right? Like what's the difference between therapy and coaching? I think that's a really important thing to be able to understand. And professional coaching really gives us these definitions of distinguishing between these different modalities. Therapy is powerful in and of itself, but it's not coaching, and coaching is not therapy. However, coaching can be very therapeutic. It can be transformational. So can therapy. Okay, but we're not treating anything in coaching. Likewise, a lot of people call themselves coaches, but what they're really doing is consulting. They're giving you advice. They're telling you what to do. Okay, that is not professional coaching in the way that the ICF holds it, the way that we teach it. Okay, that is very much consulting, telling somebody that what decisions they need to make, how they need to make changes in certain ways. From a coach perspective, the client has all the wisdom. It's not about you as the coach that has all this profound wisdom. It's about how are you going to draw that wisdom out of the client and support them to make the changes they need to make in their life. Now, you can be hired because you have a powerful skill set that you can include in your coaching process, and there's a lot of room for that, but being able to understand the difference in what you're doing is really important. Likewise, mentoring. This is some of the, I really, just try to decide maybe I'm a mentor, not a guide, maybe I'm a coach. I'm kind of going through this whole identity thing. And mentoring, to me, like guiding, can really be something that opens the door into coaching. And mentoring is not so much, there's a little bit of advice giving with mentoring, but it's really like overseeing somebody's long-term growth and kind of taking them under your wing. And it's a different kind of relationship. It's a powerful relationship, but it's a little bit different than coaching. And likewise, guiding, for me, that work of guiding is about bringing somebody into the unknown, bringing someone into a place of discovering something new about themselves. Now, coaching does that too. Professional coaching is set up to help the client. The competencies are there to help you guide the client into being able to just definitely discover new qualities about themselves. And so it's a little different than guiding in the sense where guiding, you can be, physically bringing somebody to some place on the land, ceremonies and all sorts of things that can really support. So I just wanted to give these different definitions here because I wanted you to be able to decide kind of, what draws you into this. And are you, like me, really kind of pulled into this world through guiding? And like that, this one person that emailed me this morning, being able to guide somebody into nature and into wilderness and support them to have this change in their life. And I wanted you to be able to see how coaching can really hold that for you in a powerful way. Now, the way that we set this up in the program is that we're teaching you for the first year of this program. It's a 2-year certification. It's a 2-year career development program. Okay, the first year is really focused on your certification as a nature-connected coach. And you're learning these skills of nature-connected coaching, learning about professional coaching and guiding and so forth. And then the next year is really dedicated to your credentialing as a professional coach through the ICF, getting that stamp on your certification, getting your credential through the ICF. And there are several steps that you need to go through. And that is really important. The rigor that's a part of that is really important for those of us who want to be leaders and professional leaders in this work, to be able to really say that, you know, we've put our dues in here and are really good at what we do. We've been approved, we've been observed, we've been given feedback and guidance and supervision, and we really understand the work that we're doing with people. So if that is you, if that is what you are motivated for, and want to be able to do that with nature, then really please consider applying for this program. You know, we are, like I said, taking applications right now for our June start. It's a 8-day wilderness retreat where we dive deep into your nature connection. And then the rest of the program we do online. So we really reduce the amount of travel that you need to do to complete this program. But here is a link to the application. Here's a QR code to scan, and then the links are in the description below. And let's see, if you have any questions, please just drop them into the discussion here at any time. Email me, email us, and we'll be happy to respond to you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this was helpful for you.